is an age-old adage that it is more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. I think the people who are saying that are usually talking about Miatas, which actually aren't really slow cars. I am in an Audi A4 Avant front-wheel drive. This thing doesn't even have a quattro. This is actually a slow car. All right, guys, I know I look a little bit stupid with my GoPro on, but hopefully you're gonna appreciate this POV drive with this, I was about to say excellent, but it's kind of boring and mediocre, Audi A4 diesel. Tell you what, this Audi's got a bit of turn in. It actually handles surprisingly well for a brand known for their understeer, especially considering that it's a front wheel drive car. It's not too bad. Man, that's a fun road. I have always wanted to drive in the Alps, and today I'm realizing that dream, although it's not quite in the car that I expected it to be in, but I'm still very happy. And you know what? Maybe it is true that it's more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. Although, to be honest, we are not driving very fast. This is a nice, tight, windy road. We're enjoying the grip in a manner that I would consider relatively safe. Now, I am pleasantly surprised actually by the lack of understeer in this Audi, because in the simulator at least, every Audi I've ever driven has just pushed and pushed and pushed. But this feels really good actually. All right, now that we are stuck behind this Toyota here, I think I'll give my verdict that driving a slow car fast is impossible, because actually it's a slow car, so it's always going to be slow. But it can still be very, very enjoyable. You know what? This is not as bad as I thought it would be. It's actually surprisingly sporty. It only revs to like, it looks like 4750. I don't know. Doesn't rev very high at all. It's a diesel, and it sounds like shit, but the handling is actually really good. I'm really surprised that this front wheel drive shit box is actually turning in as well as it is, especially considering that, you know, it's a rental car and it's probably been beat to shit. Yeah, I mean, it still drives really well, and we're coming up on one of Italy's many velocity control zones, so yeah, lots of speed cameras around here. Yeah, I'll see you guys when I have the Ferrari, probably. Other than seeing this beautiful Lancia, Italy's motorways were indeed quite boring. Far from Jeremy Clarkson's description of Italy as God's racetrack, it was actually just a ton of average speed cameras and speed limits that seemed to randomly change from 130 to 80 kilometers per hour for no apparent reason. But after a brief pit stop in Florence to look at some old buildings and enjoy the highly walkable infrastructure, something my viewers probably don't care to see, I did finally make it to Modena. We're currently in the beautiful Emilia-Romagna, which is the land of slow food and fast cars in Italy, which is right up my alley. And we are about to go and drive a Ferrari 488 Challenge around the Autodromo di Modena to find out if what they say is true, that driving a slow car fast is really more fun than driving a fast car slow. We will today, of course, be driving the fast car slow. The Ferrari 488 Challenge is an incredibly fast car with about 700 horsepower, and the Autodromo di Modena is basically a go-kart track. So it actually is kind of an interesting experiment. I'm not sure which is going to be more fun. I have to say that I have a sneaking suspicion that driving the fast car is going to be more fun.
In 500 meters at the roundabout, take the third exit onto Via Nuova Estensa, Strada Bellaria, heading to Casa Museo Luciano Pavarotti.
And inside we have V8, 3.9 liters, twin turbo, 670 horsepower at 10,000 RPMs. So we should have fun.
Oh yeah.
As a model, the 488 is the car that's won the most races for Ferrari. So
It's a beautiful car. I've driven the road-going one around the Circuit de Barcelona. But
yeah,
this one is first in a race car. So
which track have you done?
So I've done Circuit de Barcelona in
Yeah.
Catalunya, Button Willow Circuit. So they have two different tracks there, and also Laguna Seca.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. This is by far the easiest track you would have done.
Yeah, it's like a go-kart track, basically.
Alright, so maybe it's not quite as small as a go-kart track, but it is kind of close. Either way, here is my best lap in the 488 challenge. The engine sound is godlike, as is the straight line speed. But you can see from the telemetry that the traction control does not allow almost any acceleration until the steering wheel is basically straight. That's because I was told to leave this TC on its max setting, and on such a tight track, that meant that I was driving quite slow indeed.
Well, I am certified to have successfully tested on the track the Ferrari Challenge F488, which was quite enjoyable. The TC was incredibly invasive at setting 4, so I never got a really good exit. But I gotta say, this car is incredibly fun to drive, and the guys at Autodromo di Modena were incredibly helpful and friendly, and they don't want anybody to bend their car into the wall, so it makes sense that they leave it on TC4. I've gotta say, driving a fast car slow is a little bit more fun than driving a slow car fast. All the cars I've been driving in Italy, I've been driving slowly because I don't want to be banned from this country. I actually like it quite a lot. So between driving a slow car slow and a fast car slow, driving the fast car slow is a lot more fun. Although my time driving the Ferrari was unfortunately over, I was still in the land of the prancing horse, and I intended to use that time to its fullest. Here at Modena, Ferrari doesn't just know how to build the finest engines in the world, they also know how to pick the best chefs. I ate some of the best and most creative pasta dishes of my life at Massimo Bottura's Cavallino restaurant, a partnership with Ferrari. I then walked past the Ferrari factory to see their museum. For me, the F40 is an ultimate crown jewel that I dream to own one day and drive hard. I also had to stop and drool over Michael Schumacher's unbelievably dominant 2004 V10 F1 car, my favorite F1 car of all time. They also make Lamborghinis here in Modena, and Massimo Bottura was kind enough to lend me his for a short drive around his estate. Obviously, after such a thrilling experience in this pre-Audi era Lamborghini, a true driver's car and masterpiece for the ages, I couldn't go back to my A4 diesel.
so I returned it in favor of travel by water. In Venice, there are no roads, and I had some time away from the automotive world to watch glass blowing, admire beautiful buildings sticking out of the ocean, and reflect on the supremacy of the internal combustion engine. A supremacy that Ferrari would do well to remember.
So we're here on a proper motorboat leaving Venice to head back to the United States. And I have to say, this is a lot more civilized than some little gondola where they sing at you. Proper motor power.